Ladies and gentlemen, this is Eccentric 4 reporting live from the SMB server. Oh, yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Hope things are going well for everybody out there. Um, we're here at my base. Base. Um, and I've got some ideas. I'm trying to remember if the last thing I recorded out here was actually released, because I was talking about recording software issues that I have and what my rig is like. And we laid out these arches, and I set all this sand all the way out to here, and now I've got to clear it all out because it turns out it's not the direction I'm going to take it in. But because as I've explained, this I chose this spot because I don't know, it speaks to me, I think. Or maybe that's just me. No, I can pop out here, clear my head of Minecraft things, and maybe that's a bad thing because I keep coming up with different ideas of what to do with this. But in general, I think it's going in a good direction. It's an ever-evolving concept, so we'll just go with it. But so I figured while I'm clearing out this sand, whoa, hello. And I will have to check and see how dark this is. This may never see the light of day because it might be too dark down here. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, whoops. Didn't want that. Gravel, back down there. Where'd it go? There? Sure. Good enough. Anyways, yeah, so while I'm clearing out this sand, I figured I would take a few moments, or at least a good chunk of an episode here, to kind of introduce myself. I've gotten a lot of new people. 40. This will last a little bit. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers in the last month or two, and I haven't really done too much chit chat, as it were, on camera. I tend to do a lot of world tourish kind of things because I haven't, and I've been practicing. In fact, that's kind of what I'm doing right now, but we won't talk about that. Is doing things and talking on camera at the same time. You know, that whole multitasking bit. I've got to watch this thing. I don't want it to break. Because I can repair it. I've got 92 levels. Yada, yada, yada. How'd they get over there? But anyways, yeah, I've got a lot of new subscribers. And I think as I'm recording this, I think I'm up to 70. I'll tell you what, that may not seem like a lot to some of you, but my God, I never thought it possible. I was surprised when I got one, and I think that was probably audio. Now that I think about it, but yeah, I still don't, but I've never thought or never concerned myself with the sub count, basically. It's to me it's a feel good number because as long as I have one person who's willing to sit through whatever content I decide to publish, and I've put out some doozies, let me tell you. I am very grateful for just one person, and to check out my channel and see that I'm up to 70 so far, for example, is just it's mind-boggling. It really is. Especially when I set out to do this recording stuff, it was really to just I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but I certainly wasn't anticipating coming this far. What I thought I was going to do in the beginning was just me and Audio Modified playing on a Feed the Beast Unleashed server. Or no, that was Horizons. We started on Horizons, I think. No. I can't remember. I can't remember. Anyway, we were playing Feed the Beast, and it started out. He was recording, and I was on Skype with him while he recorded. So we were kind of it was collabing, kind of, and I was kind of like the special guest. um, and eventually, with some of the comments that were put on his video, um, I got the impression that some people would like to see some of the things that I was building on the server in a little more detail than just sort of passing by. Um, Mousy in particular. um, but so yeah, I decided, I give it a shot. I'll record a few episodes here and sort of have my own view of what audio was doing. Um, and that was the angle I went. And I thought, well, while I'm doing this, let me, modded it. Oh no! See, this is why it came back. It came back. Um, seems slower. Why does this seem slower? It is slower. Crud. Well, this is gonna take longer. Awesome. Um, but anyways, yeah. So I started recording modded, and that wasn't um it's not entirely my thing. I really like modded because it's a nice break from vanilla, just as vanilla is a nice break from modded. So, and at the time I really wanted to do modded, but I felt, well, I might as well start some vanilla series to um, sort of exhibit my building style, as it were. And so I started up my single player series. Only got a couple episodes in. I still got the world. I should probably continue that stupid thing. Um, but so yeah, and then as fate would have it, I got invited to an SMP server and started recording there, and well, the rest from there is history, as it were. But that's a little bit about my YouTube career so far. I've been doing this about a year, I think. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I'm not entirely sure. Um, and it's been quite a journey. I've met and talked with a lot of amazing folks. This community is just amazing. The people in it are just absolutely awesome. I've not seen a group of like-minded individuals in there. Maybe not like-minded. Maybe that's that's a pretty big generalization. Similar interest in Minecraft or LPing or YouTubing or what have you. I've been hard pressed to find a community of folks that are as amazing as the Minecraft community, and that goes right through to the developers. It's just top to bottom and amazing. That's an amazing thing. I am so thankful to be a part of it. I love it. I love it. um. Anyway, so that's the YouTube angle of me, and a little bit about moi. Um. So I live in Iowa, and it's December now, and it's cold, which I do not mind one bit. I actually like the cold. Um, I was born and grew up in Ohio, um, Northwest Ohio, which is not climate or geographically dissimilar from Iowa. In fact, when I first showed up in Iowa for a job interview, I thought, this is home with a few more hills. Because if anybody's been to the Northwest Ohio, you know it's mirror flat doesn't even begin to cover it. I think my friend made the comment, you can watch your dog run away for 10 miles and still be able to see him. Um, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, I was born and raised in Ohio. That's where I grew up. And then I wound up in college in Florida. Yeah. I spent 8 years in college there, and I have a bachelor's degree to show for it. But that's what happens when you decide to refine your major. So, Mountain Dew, nectar of the gods. Dr. Pepper's good, Graf. Don't get me wrong, but Mountain Dew's where it's at. Um, though to be fair, my high school career was I had Dr. Pepper every day. I 2 liters, yeah. I was a Dr. Pepper fiend in high school, and then I forget when I switched to Mountain Dew. I think it was in college at some point. Mostly because there was a 7-Eleven across the street, and the Mountain Dew was, interestingly enough, cheaper. Go figure. And college budgets. But anyway, so yeah, I went to college in Florida. I was there for 8 years, never again. Florida is a great place to visit. I don't, at least where I was at, is not a great place to live. It's hot and humid. I can simulate it. You can simulate it very, very easily. Take a towel and soak it in the hottest water you can possibly imagine, and then wrap that around your face. That's what Florida's like to me. um, I I can't say it was all bad because I mean there's a lot of things about Florida I did like. For one, washing my car in shorts and a t-shirt on Christmas Day is euphoric, having lived in the Midwest for so long. um, yeah. But the things I miss from Florida are few in number, and they're not enough to make me want to go back. In fact, the comment that I make most often, the company I work for actually has some locations in Florida, and it just so happens that my absolute dream job with this company that I work for is actually located in Florida, and so I can usually be quoted as saying that the only way you're going to get me to move to Florida for that dream job is you're going to have to like double or triple my pay. That's it. That's to put up with, and I could say that it's the not the quality of life, but the living conditions. I will suffer through the heat and humidity for a little bump in my pay, to put it lightly. But anyway, so I went to college down there and I graduated with a degree in software engineering. So that should give you an idea of what I do as my day job. I know, don't quit it. I know. And once I got out of college, happened to be in right probably the worst time to graduate from college. It was about 2009, and nobody was hiring. It was bleak. I had my 6 month grace period coming to a rapid close after graduation, and it was nerve wracking. I'll tell you what, because I racked up. The school I went to was not cheap, and I paid for it in almost 100% in loans, and everybody poo poos it. And says, oh, why'd you take out all that money? You're so much in debt. It's gonna take you 30 years to climb out of that. And you know what? My credit score is through the freaking roof right now. It's amazing. Um, they just look at it. They just open up. They just look at my number and just go, yeah. What do you want? How much you want? It's great. I love it. I love it. I don't abuse it. But because no, that's not what it's for. But it's there if I need it. Like when I moved up here, I drive Jeeps, and I had a Jeep Cherokee that I brought up that I bought in Florida. It's jacked up. It's got 30-inch tires, the all-terrain tires. It was on its way to being decked out, but it just never made it, and it's not a highway car to say the least. I probably get 15 miles per gallon, and it's a 32-mile trek from my house to work, and it didn't like that, and it wasn't terribly fond of cold weather. So yeah, I went and picked up a used car, used a Jeep Liberty. That is now my daily driver. But So yeah, so I graduated college. Bleak outlook. Finally, on the fifth month and the 15th day, it was about halfway through the month. I finally landed a job out in Delaware with a company out that way. Am I full on? I am full on sand. Um, and since that was the of the hundreds of applications I filled out and resumes I sent out, this was the first and only one that offered me a job. You better believe I took it. And I'm kind of glad I did. I met some great folks out there, and I know never to live in Delaware again. um, yeah, Delaware scares me, to say the least. To put it lightly, I am not a city person at all. I love the country. I love the openness. I love the friendliness and the people that you meet out in the country. Um, and I'm not knocking city folk. Don't take it like that. Um, it's just it's hard to get an impression of people and that you meet for the first time in the city because everybody in the city is trying to ignore everybody else. And if you try to greet somebody in the city, generally it's like a you know, excuse me. But whereas out here in the country, it's you're practically family. Um, Exaggeration, but details. But yeah, Delaware was just. I'm not used to that many cars. The job I worked, it was rotating shifts, so I was on first shift and then on second shift and then on third shift, yada yada yada. I figured, oh, third shift would be great. You know, there'd be no traffic. It'd be late at night. Blah blah blah. No, no. It's a Wednesday night. A Wednesday night at I think it was like 3:30 in the morning. 3:30 in the morning. There's traffic jams. Traffic jams. Really? Really? Never again. Never, never, never again. The only traffic jam that I got to deal with right now is getting stuck behind a combine. And that's fine by me. I will deal with that any day of the week. My boss doesn't, but that's beside the point. Um, because it is a 32-mile trek, any slow up that I encounter just amplifies exponentially almost the amount of time it takes me to get to work. So yeah, I wound up in Delaware, working a job out there that basically all it did was paid my rent and paid my student loans. I had maybe at best $100 a month to budget for groceries and internet and that sort of thing. It was not. I love ramen, but dang. um. But yeah, I mean, and that's kind of how I was able to justify it though. Was if I could survive through college on practically nothing, and a year of actually working and on the same survive on the same budget basically that I could save money. It's just Delaware's so freaking expensive that was impossible. My first apartment or my apartment in Delaware was um, it wasn't a bad apartment by any standards, but I wouldn't have wanted to pay more than $700 for it, to be honest. That would be the going rate whether you're in Ohio, Florida, or Iowa. No, it was $1,100. That was more than half of one of my paychecks. Yeah, no, never again, never again. In fact, I even moved from. We were up in Wilmington, which is probably why it was so expensive. I understand, but just to save myself at least $500 a month, I moved down to Dover. That's a 45-minute trek back up to where I worked. Thankfully, I only had to do it for about a week and a half because literally, while I'm packing to move to Dover, I had just gotten back from an interview in Iowa with another company, and I'm packing. We're halfway through packing, and they call me up and say, "We'd love to have you. Come on out." Can you give me an extra week or two? Because I'm in the middle of moving. Um, so I tell you what, it made packing for the relocation to Iowa great. Everything was already packed. The movers just showed up and loaded all the boxes. It was awesome. Um, so yeah, I was in Delaware about a year, and then hightailed it out of there, moved into Iowa, and I've been here for should I carry the one 3.5 years maybe ish. So I came here in June of 11, yeah, about 3.5 years, roughly speaking. Um, and I can't say enough good things about Iowa. I love it here. 2 feet of snow, not a big deal. Minus 20 degrees, not a big deal. I'll deal with it. It's not Florida. It's not Delaware. Um, it's beautiful out here. It's amazing. Everybody's incredibly friendly. I've never met people so friendly out here. Um, Beautiful houses. The farmland is picturesque. Just, yeah, I like it here. um, I'm probably here to stay. I've got no intention of moving anywhere else at this point in time. Just maybe out of the house that I'm in right now. A couple years down the road, fix this place up, turn a profit, and get something else, something a little bigger, something not in town. I say in town or not in town because I'm actually in a very small town. Um, there's I think 2,000 people here, roughly. Yeah. um, Either way, I like it. I love the small towns, the friendly people, the atmosphere. It's home, to say the least. But so yeah, that is a little bit about Eccentric 4. Um, if there's anything else you'd like to know, you got any questions for me, um, feel free to hit up my Twitter or drop a comment below. Um, and just ask away. And if it's an appropriate question, let's get that out there. Um, I would love to answer it, but I can't answer questions. I can't give answers unless there's questions. If you have any, if you don't, you don't. That's just how it goes. So, um, but let me swim up to the top here because I think that's actually going to do it. I might be running a little later than I anticipated. About 22 minutes. Yeah, it's. I thought this was going to be like 10, 15 minutes. Oh well. Um, and look at this. We're back quite a ways from the sand, so that actually worked out pretty well. Um, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to hop off here because I actually got to get ready for the SMB live stream in a couple. What is it? About an hour and a half. So. Yeah, every Tuesday, check out the SMB live stream. It is 8:30 Pacific, so it's 10:30 Central. And the other ones you can kind of figure out plus or minus. You guys are good with the maths, I hope. Maybe. Anyways. So yeah, guys, if you like this video, go ahead and click that like button. If you didn't like it, click the dislike button. Either or. It's up to you. You're the one watching the video. I just make these things. If you are not subscribed and would like to see more of these shenanigans, click the subscribe button. That's what it's there for. So until next time, guys, you take it easy. I will catch you later. Bye.